Hello students, hope you all are fine. So in the last class we have discussed regarding the human blood groups, okay, blood coagulation, lymph and the circulatory pathway. Okay, in circulatory pathway again we have discussed two types. One is open circulatory system and another one is the closed circulatory system. So we have already discussed what are the difference between the open and closed type of circulatory system and the type of circulatory system which is present in the different animals, right? In the amphibians, reptiles, apes, mammals, including the human beings, what type of circulatory system or the how many chambers of heart present, we have already studied in the last class. Okay, so in today's class we'll study the human circulatory system. Okay, then what are the parts which are associated with the human circulatory system, in detail we'll study. So human circulatory system, as you already know that the human circulatory system, it is also called as blood vascular system. Okay, it is known as blood vascular system, and it is consists of muscular chambered heart and the network of closed branching blood vessels, blood fluid which is circulated. Fine. So human circulatory system, when compared to the other animals, it is the most complex and it is commonly known as blood vascular system. And we have got closed type of circulatory system. Again, the closed type means we have got definite blood vessels. Through the blood vessels the blood will be circulated to the entire part of the body. Fine. Next, human circulatory system. So human circulatory system, it is also known as blood vascular system, consisting of muscular heart, then network of branching blood vessels, blood and the fluid which is circulated. Okay, then the circulatory system of human beings, it is closed type. This you have to keep in mind. So in human beings we have got the closed type of circulatory system. Next comes the human heart. Heart, it is situated in the thoracic cavity between the lungs with its apex resting on the diaphragm. Okay, so in the respiratory system you have already studied the human respiratory system, where in exactly in between the lungs above the diaphragm the human heart is located. Fine, where it is situated exactly in the thoracic cavity between the lungs, in between the lungs with its apex resting on the diaphragm. Okay, usually it is measured about 12 centimeters in length and 9 centimeters in breadth. It is breadth. Okay, then it is enclosed in the double walled membranous bag which is known as pericardium, enclosing the pericardial fluid. Okay, so now in discussion ಮಾಡ್ಲತ್ತೀವಿ human heart ಬಗ್ಗೆ discussion ಮಾಡ್ಲತ್ತೀವಿ. Okay, human heart generally well situated ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದರೆ it is present in the thoracic cavity. Situated in the thoracic cavity between the lungs ಮಧ್ಯದಾಗ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಮತ್ತು ಅದ್ರ ಲೆಂತ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಇರ್ತದೆ ಅಂದರೆ 12 ಸೆಂಟಿಮೀಟರ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ ಮತ್ತು 9 ಸೆಂಟಿಮೀಟರ್ ಬ್ರೆಡ್ತ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. Then it is enclosed by double walled membranous bag which is known as pericardium. But in pericardium it is enclosed by the fluid which is known as pericardial fluid. This is the description about the heart. So this is the structure of human heart. People are very much familiar and you already know regarding the structure of the human heart and what are the different parts of the human heart. So after studying in detail you will come to know regarding this. Meanwhile, just you can take the screenshot of this human heart. So let me explain one by one each part. So first we'll study regarding the this human heart walls. What are the different walls which are associated with the human heart? Fine. So first human heart, the heart wall, it is consisting of connective tissue, then blood vessels, then cardiac muscle fibers in different layers. So we have got heart wall ಮೂರು ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಲೇಯರ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತಾವೆ which is commonly known as pericardium, myocardium and endocardium. ಮೂರು ಲೇಯರ್ಸ್ ಯಾವ್ಯಾವುದು? ಪೆರಿಕಾರ್ಡಿಯಮ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಮಯೋಕಾರ್ಡಿಯಮ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ ಮತ್ತು ಎಂಡೋಕಾರ್ಡಿಯಮ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. So we'll see next where they are present and what are its functions. ಅವು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಇರ್ತಾವೆ ಅಂತ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡೋಣ ಒನ್ ಬೈ ಒನ್. ಸೊ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಏನದ ಎಪಿಕಾರ್ಡಿಯಮ್ ಅದ. ಎಪಿಕಾರ್ಡಿಯಮ್, ಓಕೆ, ನಾ ಪೆರಿಕಾರ್ಡಿಯಮ್ ಅನ್ನತ್ತೀನಿ. ಎಪಿಕಾರ್ಡಿಯಮ್, ಮಯೋಕಾರ್ಡಿಯಮ್ ಮತ್ತು ಎಂಡೋಕಾರ್ಡಿಯಮ್ epicardium. Epicardium andreno, it is a outermost thin transparent layer which is composed of mesothelium and the connective tissue. So heart, the outermost layer of the heart, it is a epicardium. Outermost thin layer irtada mattadu transparent layer irtada. Then it is composed of mesothelium and the connective tissue. The outermost is the epicardium. Second ಏನದ myocardium ಅದ. Myocardium, it is a middle layer and it is highly vascular layer and it is composed of cardiac muscle fibers which is joined together by interciliated disc. Okay, it is joined together by interciliated disc and the connective tissue in the myocardium. It acts as a cardiac skeleton, right? Then the myocardium, it is the thickest, whereas the endocardium is the thinnest. Myocardium is bhala thick irtada, endocardium thin irtada. You know difference between thick and thin, right? Then the myocardium, it does not get fatigue. Fatigue andre nimge already gottida, it tired agalla, it never get tired. Fine, so continue the functioning ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ಇರ್ತದೆ, but it will never get fatigue ಅಂದರೆ tired. So due to the prolonged activity of the formation of the lactic acid. Okay, that's about the myocardium. Next, third one is the endocardium. So endocardium, it is the innermost layer lining the cavity of the heart. Okay, and it is consisting of endothelium of squamous cells and resting on the thin basement membrane of loose connective tissues. Okay, so these are the three walls of the heart. Okay, these are the three different layers. First one, another, the outermost layer is the epicardium and the middle layer is the myocardium and the innermost layer is the endocardium. Okay, these are the three walls of the heart. Next, another, chambers of the heart. Fine, so this is the one of the most important part we can say. So you already know that the human heart, it is made up of 4 chambers with 2 auricles and 2 ventricles, upper 2 auricles and lower 2 ventricles ಅಂತ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ನಾವು ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡಿವಿ, ಹೌದಾ? ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ಹಾರ್ಟ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಚೇಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತಾವ? 4 ಚೇಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತಾವೆ, 2 ಆರಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತು 2 ವೆಂಟ್ರಿಕಲ್ಸ್. ಮತ್ತು ಅವೆಲ್ಲ ಇರ್ತಾವೆ, ಅದ್ರ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಏನದಂತ ನಾವು ಇವಾಗ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡೋಣ. ಚೇಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಹಾರ್ಟ್. The heart has 4 chambers with 2 auricles and 2 ventricles. Anterior auricles and the posterior are the ventricles. Okay, then the right auricle receives the deoxygenated blood from the superior vena cava and the inferior vena cava and the coronary sinuses. Right auricle ಏನಿರ್ತದಿಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಡಿಆಕ್ಸಿಜನೇಟೆಡ್ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ರಿಸೀವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. ಅದು ಡಿಆಕ್ಸಿಜನೇಟೆಡ್ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಬರ್ತದ? ಸುಪೀರಿಯರ್ ವೆನ ಕವಾ ಮತ್ತು ಇನ್ಫೀರಿಯರ್ ವೆನ ಕವಾ ಮತ್ತು ಕೊರೋನರಿ ಸೈನಸಸ್ನಿಂದ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಿ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಅಪ್ಪರ್ 2 ಆರಿಕಲ್ಸ್, ಇವೆರಡು ಆರಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಅವ, ಇವೆರಡು ವೆಂಟ್ರಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಅವ. ಈ 2 ಆರಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಮಧ್ಯದಾಗ ವಾಲ್, ಟ್ರೈಕಸ್ಪಿಡ್ ವಾಲ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬೈಕಸ್ಪಿಡ್ ವಾಲ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಅದು ಇನ್ ಡೀಟೇಲ್ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳಿರ್ತೀನಿ ವಾಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಏನು, ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ಇವಾಗ ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕು, 2 ಆರಿಕಲ್ಸ್ 2 ವೆಂಟ್ರಿಕಲ್ಸ್. ರೈಟ್ ಆರಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ರಿಸೀವ್ ದಿ ಡಿಆಕ್ಸಿಜನೇಟೆಡ್ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಬೈ ಸುಪೀರಿಯರ್ ವೆನ ಕವಾ, ಇನ್ಫೀರಿಯರ್ ವೆನ ಕವಾ ಮತ್ತು ಕೊರೋನರಿ ಸೈನಸಸ್. ಸುಪೀರಿಯರ್ ವೆನ ಕವಾ, ಇನ್ಫೀರಿಯರ್ ವೆನ ಕವಾ ಎಲ್ಲಿರ್ತದ? ಇಲ್ಲಿರ್ತದ. ಇದು ರೈಟ್ ಆರಿಕಲ್ ಅದ, ಇಲ್ಲದನು ರೈಟ್ ಆರಿಕಲ್, ಇದು ಸುಪೀರಿಯರ್ ವೆನ ಕವಾ ಅದ, ಇದು ಇನ್ಫೀರಿಯರ್ ವೆನ ಕವಾ ಅದ. Okay, fine. So right auricle, it will receive the deoxygenated blood from superior vena cava and the inferior vena cava and the coronary sinuses. Then this left auricles or left atrium, it will receive the oxygenated blood from 2 lungs through the 4 pulmonary veins. It will receive the oxygenated blood from lungs through the pulmonary veins. Illicit veins. From lungs, the blood will enter inside the left auricles. ಇಲ್ಲಿ auricles ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತದೆ, left part. Then a thin muscular valve which is called as interatrial septum, it separates the right and the left auricle, whereas the thick valve that is interventricular septum, it separates the left and the right ventricles. Interatrial septum, interventricular septum. Okay, fine, it is not mentioned. So here you can see ventricular septum, it will separate both the ventricles, and atrial septum, it will separate both the auricles. atrium. Atriums are separated by the intra-atrial septum, and the ventricles are separated by the interventricular septum. Is it clear? Hope it is understood. Hope people are following me what I am saying. ಬೋತ್ ದ ಆರಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ ರೈಟ್ ಆರಿಕಲ್ ಮತ್ತು ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ಆರಿಕಲ್ ಎರಡು ಜಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಎರಡು ಸಪ್ರೇಟ್ ಅದಾವ. ಅದು ಸಪ್ರೇಟ್ ಹೆಂಗಿರ್ತದೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಬೈ ದಿ ಇಂಟರ್ ಏಟ್ರಿಯಲ್ ಸೆಪ್ಟಮ್. ಓಕೆ, ದ ಥಿನ್ ಮಸ್ಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ವಾಲ್ ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ದಮ್, ಇಟ್ ಸಪ್ರೇಟ್ಸ್ ಬೋತ್ ದ ರೈಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದಿ ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ಆರಿಕಲ್. ಮತ್ತು ವೆಂಟ್ರಿಕಲ್ಸ್ನು ಎರಡು ಸಪ್ರೇಟ್ ಇದಾವ ಬೈ ಇಂಟರ್ ವೆಂಟ್ರಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಸೆಪ್ಟಮ್. ಫೈನ್. Then the walls of the ventricles are much thicker than that of the auricles. Ventricles walls ಏನಿರ್ತಾವ ಭಾಳ thick ಇರ್ತಾವ compared to the auricles. Left ventricle is thicker than the right ventricle because it has to push the blood to all the parts of the body much greater pressure. ಓಕೆ, ಇಷ್ಟು ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ವೆಂಟ್ರಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಏನಿರ್ತದಲ್ಲ ಭಾಳ ಥಿಕ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ ರೈಟ್ ವೆಂಟ್ರಿಕಲಿಗೆ ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟು ಪುಷ್ ದಿ ಬ್ಲಡ್, ಅದು ಭಾಳ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ, ಹೌದಾ. ದೆನ್ ದ ಆರಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದ ವೆಂಟ್ರಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಸೇಮ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಸಪ್ರೇಟೆಡ್ ಬೈ ದಿ ಥಿಕ್ fibrous tissue which is known as atrioventricular septum. However, each of these septums, they are provided with the opening through which the two chambers are present on the same side and they are connected. Is this clear? That is the chambers of the heart. So here what you have to keep in mind, the heart, it is made up of 4 chambers with 2 auricles and 2 ventricles and interatrial septum and interventricular septum. Definition. Is this clear regarding the chambers of the heart? So here these 2 are the auricles and 2 are the ventricles. Right auricle and right ventricle, left auricle and the left ventricle, and in between this right auricle and the left ventricle, right ventricles, we have got tricuspid valve will be present, and between the left auricle and the left ventricle, mitral valve, that is bicuspid valve will be present, and both the auricles are separated by interatrial septum. Atrial septum ಅಂತಲೂ ಕರೀತಾರೆ, ಮತ್ತು ventricles are separated by interatrial ventricular septum. ಓಕೆ, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಏನದ, ಹಾರ್ಟ್ ವಾಲ್ಸ್ ಅದ. ಫೈನ್. ಸೋ ಫಾರ್ ನಾವೇನು ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡೀವಿ, ಹಾರ್ಟ್ ವಾಲ್ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡೀವಿ ಮತ್ತು ಹಾರ್ಟ್ ಚೇಂಬರ್ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡೀವಿ. ಈಗ ವಾಲ್ಸ್ ಅದ. ಓಕೆ, ವಾಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೇನು? ವಾಲ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಹಾರ್ಟ್, ಇಟ್ ಮೇಂಟೈನ್ಸ್ ಯೂನಿಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನಲ್ ಫ್ಲೋ, ಅಂದರೆ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಒಂದು ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನಿಗೆ ಫ್ಲೋ ಆಗ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅದು ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ, ಮತ್ತು ಅದು ಅಪೋಸಿಟ್ ರಿವರ್ಸ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನಿಗೆ ಫ್ಲೋ ಆಗ್ಲಾರ್ದಂಗೆ ಮತ್ತು ಪ್ರಿವೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಪ್ರಿವೆಂಟ್ ಇನ್ ದಿ ಫ್ಲೋ ಆಫ್ ದ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಅಪೋಸಿಟ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಈಚ್ ವಾಲ್ವ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ದಿ ಸೆಟ್ ಆಫ್ cups and the flaps. Tricuspids, cups ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ, cups or flaps ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. Okay, and its cups are the folds of endocardium which strengthened by the intervening layer of the fibrous tissues. Fine. Then the opening and the closing of the walls depends upon the pressure on the opposite sides. So generally opening and the closing ಎರಡು walls in ಇರ್ತಾವೆಲ್ಲ, tricuspid wall ಮತ್ತು bicuspid walls. Cuspids, tricuspids, cups or the walls. Tricuspids and the bicuspids wall, ಇವೆರಡು walls ಏನು ಇರ್ತಾವಿಲ್ಲ, both the walls functioning, that is opening and the closing, it depends upon the pressure on the opposite side. Pressure ಮೇಲೆ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. Fine. Then the valve in the heart, it allows the flow of blood in only one direction. ಅದು one directionಗೆ blood flow ಆಗ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. From the auricles to the ventricles and from ventricles to the pulmonary artery and the aorta, and this valve prevents the backward flow, ulta flow aglardange adu prevent ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. So once again you can have a glance here, listen. From the auricles to ventricles and from ventricles the blood will flow through the pulmonary artery and the aorta. Here you can see, here from the superior vena cava the blood will flow through the auricle, ಮತ್ತು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆರಿಕಲ್ ಇಂದ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ವೆಂಟ್ರಿಕಲ್ಸಿಗೆ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಟ್ರೈಕಸ್ಪಿಡ್ ವಾಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಅದು, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಲ್ವ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಟ್ರೈಕಸ್ಪಿಡ್ ವಾಲ್ವ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಈ ಕಡೆ ಬೈಕಸ್ಪಿಡ್ ವಾಲ್ವ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಆರಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ವೆಂಟ್ರಿಕಲ್ಸಿಗೆ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ದೆನ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ವೆಂಟ್ರಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾರಿಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಬೈ ದಿ ಪಲ್ಮನರಿ ಆರ್ಟರಿ ಮತ್ತು ಅಯೋಟಾಕ್ ಬೇರೆ ಬಾಡಿ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ಸಿಗೆ ಸಪ್ಲೈ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಓಕೆ, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಏನದ, ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ವರ್ಡ್ ಫ್ಲೋ ಅದು ಬ್ಲಡ್ ರಿವರ್ಸ್ ಫ್ಲೋ ಆಗಲಾರ್ದಂಗೆ ಪ್ರಿವೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. ದೆನ್ ಟೈಪ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ವಾಲ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಜನರಲಿ ದೇ ಆರ್ 3 types of walls are there. One is tricuspid wall, bicuspid wall and semilunar walls. 3 types of walls are present: bicuspid, tricuspid and semilunar walls. The opening between the right auricles and the right ventricles, generally it is guarded by the wall which is formed by the 3 muscular flaps or the cups. The tricuspid walls, whereas the bicuspid and the mitral walls, it guards the opening between the left and the right ventricles. Okay, then the bicuspid wall, it is also called as mitral wall. The strong fibrous strings which is connecting the bicuspid and the tricuspid wall, which is known as chorda tendina, adukku chorda tendina anta karitara. Okay, here it will be, I'll just the image I nimage torstini. ಸೊ ಏನಿರ್ತದೆ ಅದು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಇನ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ದ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಗ್ ಫೈಬ್ರಸ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಕನೆಕ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ದಿ bicuspid and tricuspid wall, which is known as chorda tendina. Then the opening of right and the left ventricles into the pulmonary artery and the aorta, generally it will respectively they are provided with the semilunar walls. Okay, ಎಲ್ಲಿರ್ತದೆ semilunar walls ಅಂದರೆ the opening of right and the left ventricles into the pulmonary artery and the aorta, they are provided with the semilunar walls. ಇಲ್ಲಿರ್ತದೆ ಈ ರೀಜನ್ ಪಲ್ಮನರಿ ವಾಲ್ಸ್ ಈ ರೀಜನ್ಗೆ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ ಅದು. ಓಕೆ, ಸೆಮಿಲ್ಯೂನರ್ ವಾಲ್ಸ್ ಇದು ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ, ಜನರಲಿ ದೇ ಅಲೌ ದಿ ಪ್ಯಾಸೇಜ್ ಆಫ್ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ವೆಂಟ್ರಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಟು ದಿ ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ವೆಸಲ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಪ್ರಿವೆಂಟ್ ದಿ ರಿಟರ್ನ್ ಫ್ಲೋ. ಸೊ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಏನು ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಅದ ವಾಲ್ಸ್, ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಟ್ರೈಕಸ್ಪಿಡ್ ವಾಲ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಬೈಕಸ್ಪಿಡ್ ವಾಲ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ಸೆಮಿಲ್ಯೂನರ್ ವಾಲ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ ಜನರಲಿ ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಗಾಟ್ ದೇರ್ ಓನ್ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಟು ಕ್ಯಾರಿ, ರೈಟ್. ದೆನ್ ದೇ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಪ್ರಿವೆಂಟ್ ದಿ ರಿವರ್ಸ್ ಫ್ಲೋ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ರಿವರ್ಸ್ ಫ್ಲೋ ಆಗ್ಲಾರ್ದಂಗೆ ಪ್ರಿವೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ರಿಗಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ದಿ ಹಾರ್ಟ್ ವಾಲ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಹಾರ್ಟ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಏನದ, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಆಟೋಮೆಟಿಕ್ rhythmicity of the heart. So again here the automatic rhythmicity of the heart, it is the ability to contract spontaneously at the regular intervals of time. So heart contract ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಹಾರ್ಟ್ ಬ್ರೀದಿಂಗ್ ಆಗೋ ಟೈಮಿಗೆ ಏನೇನು ಚೇಂಜಸ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಅದು ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಫೈನ್. ಸೊ ಜನರಲಿ ಹಿಯರ್ ದ ಆಟೋಮೆಟಿಕ್ rhythmicity of the heart, it is the ability, okay, it is the ability to contract spontaneously and the regular intervals of the time. ರೆಗ್ಯುಲರ್ ಇಂಟರ್ವಲ್ಸ್ ಟೈಮಿಗೆ ಅದು ಯಾವಾಗ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು, ಯಾವಾಗ ರಿಲ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಅದ್ರ ಕೆಲಸ ಅದು ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. ಹೌದಾ? ದಿಸ್ ಸ್ಪೆಷಲೈಸ್ಡ್ ಕಾರ್ಡಿಯಕ್ ಮಸ್ಕುಲೇಚರ್ ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ nodal tissue, it is also distributed in the heart. Specialized cardiac musculature ಗೆ ಏನಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ, nodal tissues ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. So it is distributed in the heart and the patches of these tissues, it is present in the right upper corner of the right auricles, which is known as sinoatrial node. ಈ sinoatrial node ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ರೈಟ್ ಅಪ್ಪರ್ ಕಾರ್ನರ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಹಾರ್ಟ್, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸೈನೋಎಟ್ರಿಯಲ್ ನೋಡ್ ಈ ರೀಜನ್ನಾಗ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಓಕೆ ಫೈನ್. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಎಟ್ ದಿ right corner, patches which are present at the right upper corner at the right auricles, which is known as sinoatrial node, and the another mass of the tissues which is seen in the lower left corner ಗೆ ಇರ್ತದೆ. that is it's closes the right atrioventricular septum, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ atrioventricular node, AVN ಮತ್ತು SAN, sinoatrial node ಮತ್ತು atrioventricular node. SAN sinoatrial node right upper corner of the right auricles ನ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. AVN left corner of the left auricle ನ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. Okay, then the bundles of this nodal fibers, that is atrioventricular bundles, AV bundles anta karitara. It contains from AVN and it passes through the atrioventricular septum and it emerges on the top of the interventricular septum and immediately divides into the right and left bundles. Okay, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಜನರಲಿ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಆದಾಗ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಫ್ಲೋ ಆದಾಗ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ, ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಸೈಡ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮೇಲೆ ಸೈನೋಎಟ್ರಿಯಲ್ ನೋಡಿರ್ತದ, ಈ ಸೈಡ್ AVN ಇರ್ತದೆ. ತಿಳಿತಾ? ಇದು ಏನು ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಇದ್ರ ಕೆಲಸ ಏನಂತಂದರೆ, ಸೊ ಜನರಲಿ ಇಟ್ ಕಂಟೈನ್ಸ್ ಏವಿಯನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಪಾಸಸ್ ಥ್ರೂ ದಿ ಇಂಟ್ರೋವೆಂಟ್ರಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಸೆಪ್ಟಮ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇಮರ್ಜಸ್ ಔಟ್ ಟು ದಿ ಟಾಪ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಇಂಟ್ರಾವೆಂಟ್ರಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಸೆಪ್ಟಮ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇಮಿಡಿಯೇಟ್ಲಿ ಡಿವೈಡ್ಸ್ ಇಂಟು ರೈಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದಿ ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ bundles. Next, ಇದು ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಮತ್ತು apart from this we have also got the Purkinje fibers which gives rise to the minute fibers throughout the ventricular musculature and the respective sides, and they are also known as Purkinje fibers ಅಂತಲೂ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. And these fibers generally moves along with the right and the left bundles which is known as bundle of His ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. Next, the nodal musculature, it has the ability to generate the action potential without any external stimuli. So the function ಏನದ, generally it will helps, it has an ability to generate an action potential. Okay, it will generate an action potential without any external stimuli, and it also helps, it is an auto-excitable. However, the number of action potentials that could be generated in a minute vary at different parts of the nodal system. It vary ಆಗ್ತದೆ. It particular nodal system ನಾಗ action potential ಅದೇನು ಜನರೇಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದಲ್ಲ, it varies. Fine. Then the SAN can generate the minimum number of action potential. SAN, that is sinoatrial node. It can generate the minimum action potential, that is nearly 70 to 75 per minute, and it is responsible for initiating and maintaining the rhythmic contractile activity of the heart. So heart ಇಂದು rhythmic activity maintain ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅದು ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. therefore it is also known as pacemaker. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ pacemaker ಅಂತಲೂ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. what is the function of this pacemaker? Generally it is responsible for initiating and maintaining the rhythmic contractile activity of the heart. Okay, so that is the automatic rhythmicity of the heart. So next ಏನದ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಹಾರ್ಟ್ ಬೀಟ್ ಅದ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಹಾರ್ಟ್ ಬೀಟ್ನಾಗ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ ಅಂತಂದರೆ, ಸೊ ಹಾರ್ಟ್ ಬೀಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ರಿದಮಿಕ್ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ರಿಲ್ಯಾಕ್ಸೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಹಾರ್ಟ್. So you know that people are very much familiar that how the heart will beat and how many times per minute it will beat and what is the instrument which is used to measure the heartbeat. Everything you know, yes or no? So heartbeat and then it is a rhythmic contraction and relaxation of the heart. Okay, it includes the one systole contraction phase and one diastole. ಸಿಸ್ಟೋಲ್ನಾಗ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಡಯಾಸ್ಟೋಲ್ನಾಗ ರಿಲ್ಯಾಕ್ಸೇಷನ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಸಿಸ್ಟೋಲ್, ಡಯಾಸ್ಟೋಲ್, ಇಟ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ಲೂಡ್ಸ್ ಒನ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟೋಲ್ ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಫೇಸ್ ಆನ್ ಒನ್ ಡಯಾಸ್ಟೋಲ್ ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ ನೋನ್ ಆಸ್ ದಿ ರಿಲ್ಯಾಕ್ಸೇಷನ್ ಫೇಸ್. ಸೊ ಹಾರ್ಟ್ ಬೀಟ್ ಆದಾಗ ಆರಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಆರಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆದಾಗ ವೆಂಟ್ರಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ರಿಲ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ವೆಂಟ್ರಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆದಾಗ ಆರಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ರಿಲ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಹೌದಾ? ಸೊ ಹಾರ್ಟ್ ನಾರ್ಮಲಿ ಬೀಟ್ 70 to 75 times per minute. ಸೊ ಆವ್ರೇಜ್ 72 times ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ನಾವು, 72 times per minute in a normal healthy humans. Normal healthy humans 72 times per minute the heart will beat. Okay, then the rate of the heartbeat increases. So you know that normally heartbeat it is 72 times. Sometimes it is high, ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಅವಾಗ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ರೀಸನ್ ಏನದ? ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಮೇಜರ್ ರೀಸನ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ದಿ ರೇಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಹಾರ್ಟ್ ಬೀಟ್ ಟು ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್? ಫಸ್ಟ್, ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಇಟ್ ಮೇ ಬಿ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಟೇಕಿಂಗ್ ಫುಡ್ ಆರ್ ಡ್ಯೂರಿಂಗ್ ದ ಎಕ್ಸಸೈಸ್ ಆರ್ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸಸ್ ಇನ್ ದಿ ಬ್ಲಡ್ pH ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಅಥವಾ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ಡ್ ಅಸಿಡಿಟಿ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದಿ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಡೈಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಷನ್, ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಇನ್ ಟೆಂಪ್ರೇಚರ್ ಆರ್ ಟೆನ್ಷನ್ ಆರ್ ಶಾಕ್ಸ್, ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಟೆನ್ಷನ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ಶಾಕ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರೂ ನಮ್ದು ಹಾರ್ಟ್ ಬೀಟ್ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ದೆನ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಡ್ಯೂ ಟು ದಿ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಇನ್ ದಿ ಹೈ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್. ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಹೈ ಬಿ ಪಿ ಆದ್ರೂ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಹಾರ್ಟ್ ಬೀಟ್. Okay, so these are the some cases where the heartbeat will increase. So here what you have to keep in mind, what is the definition of heartbeat? Heartbeat andrenu, it is a rhythmic contraction and the relaxation of the heart. Rhythmic contraction and relaxation. one systole ಆದಾಗ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಫೇಸ್ ಅಂತೀವಿ, ಒಂದು ಡಯಾಸ್ಟೋಲ್ ಆದಾಗ ರಿಲ್ಯಾಕ್ಸೇಷನ್ ಫೇಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಫೈನ್. ಸೊ ಅಗೇನ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ದ ಹಾರ್ಟ್ ನಾರ್ಮಲಿ ಬೀಟ್ಸ್ 70 to 75 times per minute, that is on an average 72 times ಅಂತ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ these are the factors during which the heartbeat will increase. The heartbeat, it will increase after the taking food or during the exercise, or decrease in the blood pH, or increase in the acidity of carbon dioxide concentration, or it may be due to the increase in the temperature or tension, shocks, or it may be also due to the increase in the BP. Fine. Then next ಏನದ ಹಾರ್ಮೋನಲ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಅದ. ಸೊ ಹಾರ್ಮೋನಲ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಇಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ದ ಹಾರ್ಮೋನ್ಸ್ from adrenal medulla, that is adrenaline and the noradrenaline. Generally it will also help in accelerating the heartbeat, and later under the normal condition, the former at the time of the emergency, during the emergency, thyroxine hormone also increases the heartbeat by increasing the energy production. Okay, apart from all these factors, even some hormones are also responsible in the increasing the heartbeat. Okay, like for example hormones from adrenaline medulla, okay, adrenal gland which is present at the kidney above. What it will do, it will produce the adrenaline and the noradrenaline. It will also helps in increasing the heartbeat, and apart from this thyroxine hormone, it will also helps in increasing the heartbeat by increasing the energy production. Next, pounding. The pounding means it is refers to the very fast heartbeat. Okay, heartbeat ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾಳ ಫಾಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಡ್ಯೂರಿಂಗ್ ಸಮ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಆ್ಯಂಗ್ರಿ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ love condition, you can see. So here you can see that increase in the sodium ions in the blood and the cardiac muscles decreases the heart rate. Sodium ions in the blood, sodium ions increases in the blood and in the cardiac muscles. It will also decreases the heart rate. ಅದು heart rate decrease ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. But increase in the calcium ions from the blood increases the heart rate, but also they are injected in the cardiac muscles, and heart stops in contracted phases, which is also known as systolic arrest anta karitivi. Okay, if there is an increases in the calcium ion in the blood, it will stops, that heart stops the contractile phase. Then injection of sodium ions in the heart muscles, it stop impulse generation, so the heart stops the diastolic or the relax phase. So one of the basic of origin of the heartbeat. So generally here we have got two types of heart. People are very much familiar this. One is neurogenic heart and another one is the myogenic heart. Neurogenic and myogenic heart. Okay, so neurogenic heart means it beats initiated, that is heartbeat is initiated by the nerve impulse which is coming from the nerve ganglia. Neurogenic heart andre the heartbeat which is initiated by the nerve impulse which is coming from the nerve ganglia and it is situated near the heart. So in this wave the contraction is generated outside the heart in the ganglia. If the nerve supply is cut off from the heart, then the heartbeat stops. Okay, ಯಾವುದೋ nerve supply ಕಟ್ ಆಯಿತು ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಇಮಿಡಿಯೇಟ್ಲಿ ಹಾರ್ಟ್ಬೀಟ್ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ಜನರಲಿ ದಿಸ್ ನ್ಯೂರೋಜೆನಿಕ್ ಹಾರ್ಟ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಿ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಇನ್ ದಿ ಇನ್ವರ್ಟಿಬ್ರೇಟ್ಸ್, some annelidas and the arthropods, where the complete heartbeat it is initiated from the ganglia, that is through the nervous system, nerve ganglia which is situated in the heart. Myogenic heart andrenu, myogenic, it is the heartbeat is originated by the group of muscle fibers which is situated in the wall of the heart. Okay, so in this way the contraction is generated inside the heart. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ muscle fibers it is generally situated in the wall of the heart. Okay, so here the waves or the contraction is generally generated inside the heart ಒಳಗೆ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಜನರೇಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ಸ್ ವರ್ಟಿಬ್ರೇಟ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಮೊಲಸ್ಕಾ ಇನ್ಕ್ಲೂಡಿಂಗ್ ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ಬೀಯಿಂಗ್ಸ್. ಈವನ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಗಾಟ್ ದಿ ಮಯೋಜೆನಿಕ್ ಹಾರ್ಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಟು ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ನೋ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ neurogenic heart and the myogenic heart. Neurogenic heart means here the heartbeat is initiated by the nerve impulse which is coming from the nerve ganglia which is situated near the heart. Okay, myogenic heart and here the heartbeat is originated by the group of muscle fibers which is situated in the wall of the heart. Okay, and examples you have to know. So this you have to know, that is the difference between the neurogenic heart and myogenic heart. Okay. Next we'll move on to the another important concepts, that is the blood vessels. So far we have discussed only regarding the human circulatory system, then different parts which are associated with the human circulatory system like blood vessels, chambers of the heart, walls of the heart, and the heartbeat, and what are the contents regarding the heartbeats and all, and what are the factors which are responsible for increasing the heartbeat and all we have studied. Then we'll come to the another important part of this chapter, that is the blood vessels. So again here blood vessels also plays a very important role. Blood vessels are the they are the network or the tubes that transport the blood throughout the body. Okay, so generally here you know that the blood vessels generally they act as a pipe connection. Fine, that is how the pipes are connected to the motors and the water will be supplied to the tanks. In the same way, heart is like a motor. Fine, it will pump the blood and that blood will be supplied to the different parts of the body through the blood vessels. So blood vessels will act like a pipe connection. We can say that they are the pipe connections in our body, and these pipe connections it will supply the blood from the heart to the different parts of the body. Okay, so again here the blood vessels generally they will transport the blood throughout the body. So blood vessels are made up of three layers. One is tunica externa, that is tunica externa, it is present in the outermost, and the tunica media, that is middle layer, and the tunica interna, that is it is a innermost. So three layers. So blood vessels naga more layers irtava. One is tunica externa, tunica media, and the tunica interna. Fine. So blood vessels are of following types. Three types are there: arteries, veins, and the capillaries. Arteries, veins, and the capillaries. So one by one we will see in detail what are its functions and where they are present. So arteries are thick-walled, carrying oxygenated blood. Arteries are thick-walled and they carry the oxygenated blood, deoxygenated blood in the pulmonary artery from the heart to the various parts of the body. Arteries are the thick-walled, carrying deoxygenated blood from the heart to the different parts of the body. These blood vessels are grouped as aorta, from which branches to form the arteries, and which further it is divided into thinner branches are called as arterioles inside the organs. And further the full divide agi thinner branches which is commonly known as arterioles inside the organs. The average diameter of these arterioles is 120 micrometer. Then the arterioles are further divided into smaller vessels which are known as meta-arterioles, which is about 70 micrometers, and these are further divided into capillaries. So capillaries again divide ಆಗ್ತವೆ. At the beginning of these capillaries, the arterioles passes through the circular muscles which are called as pericapillary sphincters, and which regulate the flow of blood into the capillaries, and which are also called as vasomotion. So again these arteries are of two types. Generally they carry two functions, which is commonly known as conducting or elastic arteries and distributing or muscular arteries. Conducting or elastic arteries, distributing or muscular arteries. The elastic or the conducting arteries, they receive the blood from the heart and they do not provide to any of the other organs, rather than providing the blood to the other arteries, and it is pressure receives the blood. Fine. So again here the larger arteries in the dorsal is the abdominal aorta. Fine. So again here in the blood vessels, there are three types. One is arteries, veins, and the capillaries. So where these arteries are present and what are its functions. We have studied now. Just you can go through these arteries. So next comes the arteries over arteries. Second is the capillaries. So again here these are the smallest blood vessels. Capillaries are the smallest blood vessels and also layered in the nucleated squamous epithelium, and they are called as endothelium, resting on the basement membrane. Okay, the diameter of the capillary is about 8 nm, that is nanometer, and they are also called as exchange vessels, as these are the site of exchange of materials between the blood and the tissues because of least barrier in them. Fine. The capillaries can be grouped into two categories, that is arterial capillaries, which supplies the nutrition and the respiratory gases etc. to the body cells, and the venous capillaries which collect the metabolic waste from the blood cells. Okay, arteriolar capillaries and the venular capillaries. The two types, arteriolars and the venous. Arteriolars they supplies the which supplies the nutrition and the respiratory gases to the body cells, and venular capillaries they will collect the metabolic waste to the blood cells. Fine. And the capillaries passes about 7% of the total body blood, and the present in the almost cells of the intercellular spaces, and the tissue which is devoid of the intercellular spaces, they are devoid of the capillaries. So this is also known as avascular tissues. They are devoid of capillaries. They are commonly known as avascular tissues. Avascular tissues. Okay, they are about 70%. And that's about the capillaries. Okay, so capillaries. Next comes the veins. So again here veins, these are the thin wall carrying deoxygenated blood. These veins they will carry the deoxygenated blood, oxygenated in the pulmonary veins from the tissues to the heart. So again here these veins, they are the smallest branches unit to form the veins, which in turn unite to form the vena cava. The largest vein is inferior vena cava or the portal caverns. The inferior vena cava or the post caverns, they drains the deoxygenated blood from the middle and the lower part of the body into the right auricles throughout this small opening which is bordered by the membranous filiform fold, which is remains to the fetal wall of the Eustachian's tube. Then superior vena cava, it brings about the deoxygenated blood from the head and the upper part of the body, which is the right auricle, through an opening which is a single in the humans and in one case of animals also they are mentioned, and cat, and single in case of human beings and cats, and 2 in case of rabbits. Okay, that's not necessary. So meanwhile just you can keep in mind that is veins, they are thin wall which carries the deoxygenated blood from tissues to the heart. Okay, so that's regarding the blood vessels. So in blood vessels we have studied 3 types. One is arteries, capillaries and veins. Arteries, capillaries and veins. Okay, fine. So next we'll move on to the another important concept, that is the cardiac cycle. Okay, so cardiac cycle we'll see now. So cardiac cycle it is refers to the sequence of events which takes place during the completion of one heartbeat. So for the completion of one heartbeat, what are the changes will take place, that sequence we commonly call it as the cardiac cycle. Okay, the action potential which causes the auricles and then the ventricles to undergo the contraction systole, it is followed by the relaxation. Okay, the systole which forces the blood to move from the auricles to the ventricles and the pulmonary artery and the aorta. In human beings, the cardiac cycle it occurs about 72 times per minute. Okay, in human beings, to complete one cardiac cycle, how much it takes time? It takes about the 72 times per minute. Okay, the cardiac cycle it is completed in the following 5 phases. First one is isometric relaxation, atrial diastole, ventricular systole, ventricular diastole. Cardiac cycle it is completed about 0.88 seconds. It is complete one cycle. Then about 70 ml of blood is pumped out by each ventricles during the cardiac cycle, and it is also called as stroke or beat volume. Stroke volume will call generally. So this is stroke volume. About 70 ml of blood is pumped out by each ventricle during the cardiac cycle. Okay, then the volume of blood pumped out by each ventricle of heart per minute, and it is also called as cardiac output, and it is equal to the product of the stroke volume and the heart rate. It's approximately 5 liters you can say. Fine. So in this cardiac cycle, so what we see means what are the events which takes place during the cardiac cycle, or the completion of one heartbeat, what are the sequential changes will takes place. Fine. That is a contraction, that is contraction means systole, and the relaxation means diastole. So in human beings, complete one cardiac cycle it takes place about 72 times per minute. So these are the following phases which takes place. Okay, so next this is important, listen here. So during each cardiac cycle, 2 prominent sounds are produced which can be easily heard through the stethoscope. So you know that stethoscope is an instrument which is used to measure the heartbeat. Okay, the first heart sound which is heard, it is the lub. It is associated with the closure of the tricuspid and the bicuspid wall. So when tricuspid and bicuspid wall will close, that time the sound which is produced, which is known as lub sound is produced. Fine. Whereas the second sound which is heard, which is known as dub, and this dub it is associated with the closure of the semilunar walls. If the semilunar wall closes, then it will produce a second sound which is known as dub, and the first sound which is produced by the closing of the tricuspid and bicuspid wall is the lub dub. We'll see. Okay, the first sound has the duration of about 0.15 seconds and the frequencies of 25 to 45 hertz. Okay, then the second sound lasts about 0.12 seconds with the frequency of 50 hertz. Next is the murmurs, this is an abnormal sound which is heard in the various parts of the vascular system. It may arise due to the improper closing of the heart walls. The abnormal sound it may heard due to the improper closing of the heart walls, or in the patients with the interventricular septal defects. If we are suffering from any interventricular septum, then there may be the defect in the improper closing of the heart walls in the patients. Okay, so this you have to keep in mind, that is what are the sounds which are heard during the heartbeat. Then comes the blood pressure. So again here this blood pressure, generally the pressure exerted by the blood on the wall of the heart blood vessels in which the patient, which it is measured, which is commonly known as blood pressure. Fine. The pressure exerted by the blood on the walls of the blood vessels. Pressure exerted by the blood on the walls of the blood vessels, it is known as blood pressure. Okay, so this blood pressure, or what we commonly call it as BP, it is usually measured by the brachial atrials by the instrument which is known as sphygmomanometer. Sphygmomanometer is an instrument which is used to measure the blood pressure. Fine. The atrial blood pressure is of two types. One is systolic and the one is the diastolic. Systolic and the diastolic. Systolic blood pressure is the pressure which is exerted by the blood on the walls of the blood vessels due to the systole of the ventricular, and it is equal to 120 mmHg. 120 mmHg. During ventricular systole, there is an expansion in the artery due to the uncoiling of the elastic layer. What happens here during ventricular systole? There is an expansion in the artery due to the uncoiling of the elastic layer. Hence, the pressure is maximum in the arteries but gradually decreases in the capillaries and the veins. Fine. Then what happens during the diastolic blood pressure? Is the pressure which is exerted on the walls of blood vessels when the ventriculars are relaxed. Whereas here what happens, the pressure exerted by the blood on the walls due to the systolic of the ventriculars. Here ventriculars are relaxed. During the ventricular diastole, the uncoiled elastic layer recoils, leading to the normalization of the arteries. Hence the blood pressure, it drops down to the 80 mmHg. So thus the blood pressure in the normal person is systolic and diastolic pressure is 120 by 80 mmHg. 120 by 80 mmHg. 120 is systolic pressure and 80 is the diastolic pressure. 120 by 80 mmHg the normal BP. Then the difference between the systolic and the diastolic pressure is called as pulse pressure. The difference between the systolic and the diastolic pressure, we commonly call it as pulse pressure, and its normal value is 120 by 80 mmHg. 40 mmHg provides the information about the condition of the arteries. Is it clear? So this is about the BP, that is blood pressure. So what is the instrument which is used to measure the blood pressure? It is a sphygmomanometer, and the normal blood pressure is 120 by 80 mmHg. Fine. So that's about the cardiac cycle. So in cardiac cycle, what you have to keep in mind, what's the definition of cardiac cycle? Cardiac cycle, it refers to the sequential events which takes place during the completion of one complete heartbeat. Okay, so one complete heartbeat, when it will takes place, the action potential which causes the atria and the ventricles to undergo the contraction and the relaxation. We have to contraction and relaxation then we commonly call it as a one complete cardiac cycle. So in human beings, one complete cardiac cycle, it takes place about 72 times per minute. 72 times per minute it will takes place. Fine. So during the cardiac cycle, two prominent sounds which are produced, which is heard during the instrument which is known as stethoscope. First sound which is heard is a lub, and this lub sound which is generally associated with the closure of the tricuspid and bicuspid wall. And the second sound which is heard is the dub, and this is associated with the closure of the semilunar wall. Fine. And then this is a blood pressure. So what is the instrument which is used for measuring the blood pressure? Which is a sphygmomanometer, and the normal blood pressure is about 120 mmHg. 120 is a systolic pressure and it is a diastolic pressure. Okay. Then what we have studied, just once we'll have a glance from the first. So today we have studied regarding the human circulatory system. Fine. So you know that the human circulatory system, which is commonly known as blood vascular system, which is consisting of the blood vessels, and it is a closed branching blood vessels and the fluid. So firstly we have discussed regarding the human circulatory system, that is the human heart. So what are the this is the structure of the human heart. Fine. So what are, first we have studied the heart walls. So again there are three types of walls. Epicardium, that is the outermost layer is the epicardium, and the middle layer is the myocardium, and the innermost layer is the endocardium. Fine. So here so far what are the characters we have studied? In this diagram you can see inferior vena cava, superior vena cava, inferior vena cava, tricuspid wall, pulmonary wall. Okay. Then aorta, left auricle, bicuspid wall, aortic walls. These are the different parts. Once again I will show this with clear image in the next class. So heart walls we have studied. Then chambers of the heart, 4 chambers with 2 auricles and 2 ventricles. Then upper 2 auricles and lower 2 ventricles, tricuspid wall, bicuspid wall. Then heart walls we have studied. Then the automatic rhythmicity of the heart we have discussed. Then we have discussed regarding the heartbeat. Then hormonal control. So again, hormonal control, we have studied two important concepts here which we have to know. One is neurogenic heart and another one is the myogenic heart. So neurogenic heart means the beat which is initiated by the nerve impulse which is coming from the nerve ganglia. Then myogenic heart which is originated from the muscle fibers which is situated on the walls of the heart. Neurogenic and the myogenic heart. So heartbeat, you know that what is a heartbeat? It is a rhythmic contraction and the relaxation of the heart. Hormonal control, blood vessels. So again in blood vessels, arteries, capillaries, veins, then cardiac cycle. Okay, so these are the concepts which we have discussed in the today's class. Fine. So hope all the concepts are clear to you. So meanwhile, once again these concepts with clear image, all the parts I will show you in the next class. So again in the next class we'll move to the an important concept, that is the regulation of the heart and the disorders. Okay, so hope today's class is clear to you. If you have any doubts, you can ask me in the AppScope class. Okay, so that's all. Once again you can go through all the slides. Fine. Okay, so we'll continue in the next class. Thank you. Take care. Stay home. Stay safe.